Hi, welcome to Leaders in Studio Brazilian edition. My name is Amir Razmara. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Avenue Code. It's a privilege to have a good friend of mine, Djan Castro, to join us today, and welcome. It's been a while since we've seen each other, so how are things going?
Thank you for having me here, Amir.
So, Djan, you and I known each other for over a decade now, since we started the business in Brazil. And I know your background primarily has been the work that you did with FCA, which is now merged and become Stellantis. So there's so many congratulations I have to make to you, since from the CTO position to today's announcement that came out, it's been really fantastic. So tell me, how life has been in the past 9 years with FCA, which is now Stellantis.
So I'm anxious for my new position, because in the last 10 years, I changed so many times. When we met the first time, I used to work on the sales and market area, almost 10 years ago, as you said. And after that, I was head of analytics, and then digital transformation and innovation. Before that, CTO, and now head of IT manufacturing. So it's a long journey within the company. But this happened before in all other companies I worked previously. So I feel a little bit anxious when I change my position, and this makes me feel younger again. So it's like butterflies in the stomach, but it's good to be afraid of new challenge, new
Absolutely, yeah.
excitement. It's very good. And this comes with freedom to ask about anything, to be a newbie in a position, have these advantages sometimes.
Absolutely. So what is the role, this current role that you also further been promoted with, being the head of the manufacturing in ICT?
It's a very intense role, because the Stellantis nowadays have more than 1/3 of the market, the vehicle market in South America. So in order to support this, we have 5 vehicle plants across 2 different countries. We have 3 engine plants, 4 component plants. So there is a lot of work undoubtedly, because most part of these plants work in several shifts. They work close to 24/7.
Wow.
So it's a very intense rhythm of production of vehicles. Some of the productions, especially engines, are also exported worldwide. So there's always something happening in one of those fabrics. And nowadays, these production are super assisted by technology.
Okay.
If a system stops to work within a few seconds or minutes, the whole line operations is stopped, because it is the system that tells to machines what to do, what color put in the car, what force to put in a screwdriver. A lot of adjustments is done by the system, so the machines operate entirely on systems. So the dependence of IT on this process is incredible.
So it's very easy. There's not much stress involved in this at all.
It's pure adrenaline, I can say that.
So you will be on the phone all the time.
I'm lucky, because I have a very talented and experienced team, so they solve most part of the problem, but it's always a complicated, because it's a huge capital on this factory. So
Sure.
If this stop, it's a huge responsibility, but normally works very well. So we keep the position as leader, the plants continue to produce, and I'm still live until now. When I have time, I bring some innovations to these factories, because of course, the first duty is to keep things working properly, but it's very important to bring some innovation to the production lines. For example, last year, we launched the first 5G network on Goiânia plant, and based on this technology, we create a visual system that improves the vehicle quality, new chains. For example, we collect tons and tons of data, because we have thousands of machines, and we got all this data, put this into a data lake, and we create for their own some algorithms that help us to improve our maintenance and prevent our machines to fail with these practices that we are implementing.
Right. So you have a mechanism to do the kind of a predictive way of enhancing the maintenance and doing it in advance before things really break down and whatnot. Okay. Yeah.
We are very advanced on this topic because you have so many machines and so many data. And how much more data you have, more likely to have the most accurate algorithms.
That sounds actually fun.
Yeah, there are some fun. It's adrenaline, but there are some fun.
Yeah, those
some space for innovation.
Yeah, that's good. And so in this role, which the higher up one goes in even though it's in technology, in the management part, the harder it become hands-on and can I code or things like that. How do you balancing out? Do you stay hands-on? Do you just let the team do it? Every group is different, or you have hobbies behind the scene to keep it up.
Yeah, I have my hobbies, but I'm not so young anymore. So if we go back to the middle of 9th year, when there are many options to develop software, and people use waterfall to methodology, and Kent Beck was developing the first principles of extreme programming for curiosity. Chrysler, that now part of the group.
Right.
I could support all the process, but nowadays it's not possible anymore because there is tons of stacks of framework, several different technologies. So my job today regarding this position was just to drive the teams about the best solution.
Okay.
I best get the inputs from the business.
Mm-hmm.
I design a strategy because in order to do that, we have to know your business very well and create a collaborative environment so the technicians that know this technology better than me can create the best solutions, but keep this aligned with business goals.
Right. I mean, you brought an important point because part of the pain points with engineers is usually they don't want to talk to business. They're like, leave me alone, let me code. and then, the business, like, these guys are not talking to me. What am I going to do? So how do you navigate that? And especially when business gets confused when you tell them it takes this long to build certain things.
Yeah, I still speak both languages. I like technology a lot. I used to work as a university teacher when I have time because I really like technology. There are people that like to hang out with families. I like sports, I like fishing, but I also like technology. So for some kind of technologies I know and I study, so this keeps me able to talk with this more technical guy. And also, maybe because I already passed for a lot of different departments and parts of the company, I can understand and get the business inputs and translate them to a common goal.
That's good. Yeah, it's always a tightrope when you get into the management and then technology part of it. That's where it comes to.
Especially because, to be honest, today technology is so complicated. There are so many technologies that no one can handle with all this amount of information anymore. So you need to create environment, put specialists from all areas, and try to design the better solution with the collective intelligence.
Sure. And how do you guys address as you said, the ongoing changes that keep coming over and over? How do you deal with the bringing your team up to speed with all of these various things, and in a way pick the right technology, because everybody's coming with new ideas, everybody's coming with the new revisions of the same thing. How do you deal with that part?
This is a very interesting question, because indeed people in technology really like experiment, try technology. So we do not limit them on that activity. They are free to experience, to try, to do whatever they want. But before this go to production, we have to be very tough about careful choose the best one to specific solution.
Sure.
But if you do not let them try these new technologies, they cannot propose the better solution indeed.
Always is, yeah.
I've seen in our internal survey, because we run this very frequently, that people really like to try new technology. So if we do not offer this opportunity to them, maybe they are not working with us anymore. So they have to experience that, and we can try to filter these options in order to allow good solutions to be in the production. Because, as I told before, it's very hard to keep everything working. This is the zero priority for us.
And for you guys, the assembly line basically shuts down if anybody makes a mistake. So that's part of a challenge with the assembly line. So now you did all of these things. You got used to the rhythm. You got used to the culture of FCA, and boom, came the merger. You guys now merged. Stellantis. How is that working out as far as working with your counterpart? It must be exciting to have other brain powers to work with, bounce off ideas and whatnot. How is that affecting you guys these days?
Indeed, when you are talking about a merge of 4,100 employees around the world, and usually took us a little bit more time than expected. So we are in the first year. 2 weeks ago, if I'm not wrong, we made the 1 year anniversary. So we are still trying to figure out how to solve that. There are a lot of things that should be done, but especially here in South America, we are more visible right now. Some persons from this region are going to be allocated in global positions, so they can use the whole company. They can tell to whole company how we are doing things here that are well succeeded. Because at the end of the day, we are market leader. We have high quality products, especially because we have some strict rules here that are getting us good results. We get out what we put in. So
it's always
we are getting good results in general.
So hopefully your division would win more and more and more on that front. So that's actually a really, really great thing. And you're happy with the way the blend is coming in. Is it still sort of separated, or you guys are really merging through merger?
No, we already really merged. We have different persons from any companies. When I said I manage 5 plants, include ex-PSA plants.
The
team is mixed. It's really one company, of course, one structure, but of course there are completely different set of systems, technologies, and so on. Because to go to a common technology stack and system, this could leverage many years. But this is the second step. The first one is have one structure, one common goal. It's very clear about that.
That's awesome. So here we are. It's a motherload merger that you guys are in, and you're dealing with all of these complexities and deals with a lot of infrastructure. So where do you see the evolution of infrastructure progressing on that front as this is coming into to the path of like really going full force?
So that is still an effect of the pandemic, because the pandemic really accelerated technology and changing all areas, virtually all areas. I still believe that cloud adoption continues to grow. Within the cloud space, probably the platforms are becoming more and more popular, especially because the platforms of software are the better way to deliver value to customers. And they also came with benefits because they usually have less costs associated. They are innovative. They receive more innovation than standalone platforms. So this could be a better option to draw better solutions for the customer. So I think is that. But also the software itself, because software will define networks, will define hardware, will define everything in the future. Within this in mind, I suggest for the team that we increase the development of DevSecOps discipline, because this will be a stepstone for this development.
Yeah, it's the security part of it is becoming more challenging as people...
Every day.
yeah, I can only imagine. So thank you. This was actually great to see you again, and thank you so much for joining us. And I hope we can catch up next time, see which one of these plans have come to fruition, and hopefully your phone didn't ring that much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So this was a very insightful meeting with Djan Castro, who's the head of ICT manufacturing at Stellantis.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for more for our leaders in studio from other parts of the planet.